All right, everyone, welcome to Volume 2 of Unpopular Opinions. Once again, this is that show where you sent me unpopular opinions for me to discuss. Thank you again for all those who submitted. And I'm going to try and get to a few more than I did last time. I know we only did two, but I'm trying to keep these videos at a decent length. And some of these I want to talk in more in depth than others. So let's get right into it. My buddy Andrew Pearson says Sword Art Online is actually a good anime series, followed by not one, but three laugh emojis. So I feel like this probably isn't his opinion. And you know what? Actually, I would have agreed with it until he said series. Because I liked the first season, and it came out during the kind of popularized the isekai series, which is adventures from people in the normal world going into a fantasy realm. Sword Art Online definitely started that. At least a popular trend. It's kind of been a theme that's been in anime, especially, as well as other things, of course, for a while. But I can't agree with it as a series. Now, as the first season, definitely. And for the time it came out, revolutionary and deserved all of its early praise. Even I dug it, especially with the, I'm going to say spoilers, but if you haven't watched Sword Art by now, I'm sure you've heard everything. Something I've discussed before in anime that I really like is when a couple that's teased for a little while gets together, and that one definitely did. I can't remember the characters' names because it's been a long time since I've actually cared about the series. But yeah, Andrew, thank you for your post, and yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree on it as a whole because the second season didn't care about. They've done spin-offs, and I just personally haven't given a shit about the show in a while. Then we also have um, Frankie De Jesus, who's a good friend of mine. I love his podcast, the Smarky Geeks, for all your wrestling info and reviews. He has a great show that he that you need to definitely check out if you want to get some good wrestling info. That's called the Smarky Geeks. It's a podcast. You get that anywhere on podcasts as well as on YouTube. But he says for him, and this probably is going to be a big opinion, he prefers dub over subtitled in anime. Now, if you don't know, dub is the English dubbed over voices, where they put the English. He prefers the English over the traditional Japanese voice work with the subtitles. And he went on to explain them many things, which a lot of it I get why he prefers it. It's sometimes you can't focus when you're trying to read subtitles as well as watch, especially in action anime. I get that. I get that. And there's definitely times where I agree with this statement, but there's a lot I disagree with. So here we go. We're gonna get right into it. For me, dubbed anime, there's somewhere it really works. With the theme is maybe multicultural definitely outside of Japanese. Even though like anime doesn't always take place in Japan, it has that Japanese feel to it because it's the country of its origin. That's completely understandable. But excuse me, uh, shows like Cowboy Bebop. That show, while it did feature Asian characters, was definitely not Japanese centric, and it had a very diverse cast. And I think that the English voice, at least for us English speakers, I can only speak for us, of course, and only speak for myself in this opinion, to be honest, uh, really gave more to the presentation, I believe, than the Japanese. I've watched it both. Just wanted to check it out. Of course, first introduced in English through, I think, a lot of people, the original Toonami and Adult Swim playing it. Uh, so the English dub, I prefer the English dub of that because of the style and it fits. Another big one for me I've watched both and English is far superior is Helsing. Helsing Ultimate, either version you want to go with it being an international European cast. Not only if the voice actors aren't, they're doing a damn good job doing the accents, but the characters are from all over Europe, and having the different accents brings a lot more to the characters and into the world uh, than you would get when you get in Japanese. And granted, I don't speak Japanese very little, or should I say, I speak very little Japanese, understand very little Japanese, and so I don't know if they're doing things within their own language and their own techniques to kind of show that, and they may very well. But as a non-native speaker, I don't hear it. I just hear the traditional Japanese. I'm reading the subtitles, which sometimes use ways of showing accents with the subtitles. But I think far superior is in the English dub. Now, my counterpoint to that is outside of when I just want to watch some anime in the background when I'm drawing, playing a video game, doing whatever I'm doing. I do prefer subtitles. I do prefer to hear the Japanese. And like me and my wife have the ongoing joke of turn up the volume, I can't hear the subtitles. Because we still want to hear the Japanese inflection. We want to hear how it was made in its original context. And I've been watching the subtitle. I've been watching anime since 1993, and a lot of the early VHS tapes I rented were only subtitled. And on VHS, you can't choose one or the other. So long time practice, I would assume. I'm not judging anyone who can't get behind it, can't get into it. I can fully watch a movie, not miss anything, and read the subtitles. And I get not everyone can do that, and so I do prefer that. There's plenty of good dubs. I'm never going to say one is better than the other. Whatever gets you watching the anime is what's really good. So with that, yeah, you can kind of just take that for how you want. It's up to you. But I disagree that dub is better overall because my preference is definitely subtitles. But there are certain anime that, again, Cowboy Bebop, Hellsing. I'm sure if I really just sat and made up a list of it, I could, but these are just my free thoughts as I'm reading them here in live, as always. Uh, Subtitles are better, and that's with any language. Shy of, classic kung fu flicks where the bad dubbing is half the fun. So, of course, you have things like that that'll kind of give you the reason. I think the reason it gets kind of a more authentic, I guess you could argue, is like, and just maybe I'm just a purist because when I really dived into anime, it was a big reason was just seeing it in the Japanese. It was very cool to me. It was very unique and different. Let's see, but thank you, Frankie, and again, check out his podcast, The Smarky Geeks, for great wrestling. And he actually has another one called The Snarky Geeks. It's a comic book podcast. Check that out as well. My buddy Paul Mitchmarmy, I'm sorry, I'm fucking up your name, says Full Metal Alchemist is overrated. Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one to say. I'm not the biggest fan, so I'm kind of inclined to agree. I enjoyed Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, specifically. That's the only one I watched to completion. But, at least here in America, I don't really know how huge it lasted in Japan. But you still see merch. You still see releases of merchandise and posters all over the place. But here in America, I think it is held to a high regard because I think it was an early, kind of, not going to say mature because it's not like super gory, violent, nudity, all that kind of stuff that some of the more mature anime can get into. But it is a mature storyline for as silly as it can be. And it does a great blend of action, comedy, and some of the more intense, serious moments. I mean, you got two kids sacrificing body parts to bring their dead mother back. Not exactly a kid's film or a series. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of agree because it didn't do a lot for me. But no, you know what? I'm gonna recant that right here and now. I'm gonna disagree that it's overrated, but I don't think it. I think it's got just enough because you'll still see the cosplay, you'll still see a few pieces here and there, but at least in my circles of anime friends and what I see, I don't see it pop up a lot. So I think it's a solid series. Definitely, above average, but not fantastic, not great. Didn't do a lot for me, but I can see why people would really dig that thing. We're gonna wrap it up with this one with my good buddy Jeremy Caleb Hughes of Hughes Clan Cosplay. You can find their work. He's also part of the Justice League Arkansas group that I'm a cosplay member as well. Said The Last of Us 2 was a great game, and people who don't like it are just, in fact, simps. With the shrug emoji. I know it got some hate for playing the girls, and that was a demographic of the internet I don't care to address. We're going to keep that. I haven't played the game. The reviews I've heard is overall it was a solid sequel. But there's a small percentage of people who are mad because you played the girls instead of the rough, gruff, tough guy. And if that's the reason you didn't like it, go fuck yourself because this is what the creators wanted. And if you can only play a dude so you can put yourself in the masculine role, well then, man, that's your own fucking issues to deal with. Don't hate the game if that's the reason you like it. If anyone else complain about it, I haven't heard. That's literally the only negative I've heard about this game. And haven't played either one, but overall they both look like beautiful, great. The graphics are spectacular. They looks like action, emotion, drama. I always heard very good things, but it's not something I got into. Well, those are going to do it. Thank y'all again for all your opinions that you shared with me. We're going to continue this on and yeah, keep sending them up. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for everyone who has contributed to this, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.